Hello there guys, my name is Jay or DA and welcome back to another episode of Empyrion, where today we actually have a ship that is in the air, which is kind of cool, and we have got some sort of hangar being built on the underside, which is really cool. And I have spent the past hour sort of building this up. Now it doesn't look like much, but I think it's actually taking pretty good shape. If I go into F5 mode and we fly up a bit, it's actually got quite a nice streamlined design to it, which is kind of cool. And the hangar I have been tweaking with, and I think I've got it to a nice medium now. So what we have is we have a ramp that leads you up to the first sort of section of the hangar, and then we have another door that closes this off. So what you'll be able to do is you're able to sort of come to here, close that up, that comes in quite nicely, and then we have this staircase that leads you up to the side, and you can close the front door off, so you can then fly off. Now unfortunately, for whatever reason, I can't seem to find if we can sort of configure the controls in the P menu, because as I go to the ramps, it kind of doesn't tell me if I need to if I can click open or click close, which is a bit sad. I would like to have a bit more. Maybe the access button is actually open and close. That'd be pretty nice to have. But either way, I've got some manual overrides in here, so we are able to open them both. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. We've got elevators that lead upstairs now, which go up into the engine room, and we do, yes, have a thruster here at the moment, and that is just a placeholder keeping the ship up in the air while I play around with it and get thrusters in the right places. But we have this room here, which I'm thinking of having as a bit of a I'm not really sure. I might put just like a cafeteria sort of place in here, maybe, I don't know. And then we have the engine room. I don't think it's appropriate to have the engine room next to the cafeteria sort of place. Maybe like a crew, maybe like a secondary operations room, something like that. So you have engine room, operations room, and then you start pushing on through to the back, which will have and house all of your crew members, or in this instance, me. So yeah, it's going pretty well. I am really loving this cockpit. However, we do need to put the windows in underneath, which I said I would do, but I forgot to. So what we'll do is we'll head down into the cargo hold. Now the cargo hold, I'm thinking where this slant is here, I want to have windows going along the side. So what you can do is you can peer out and look down at the planet or whatever you're landing on. The one thing I have kind of limited myself to is what sort of ships can park in here, because if you notice that door isn't that big, but I might have maybe some side entrances depending on how long the ship gets, so it enables you to get more ships in. But I think this is quite a nice size, because I'm going to have one sort of small vessel, which I'm hoping will be the flying squirrel that can fit somewhere nicely. Maybe have a bit of a landing pad on the roof of the ship so we can park it on there, but we would need some internal storage for it. So yeah, it's just gone daytime as well, which is even better. Just means that everything's, you know, just a lot nicer to look at in the daytime hours. And I do actually need to put some windows here because I want to block off access to the elevator from here, because I figure I only want the one entrance exit, which would be here. So let us head down. Tried to kill myself. I almost killed myself earlier by jumping down that ramp and slamming straight into the floor at like something stupid miles an hour, and it kind of hurt a lot. So we use these windows. We do have some more blocks. I did have to build more blocks as well. I'm actually on my second batch of 400 blocks, which is kind of a lot, but I think it's going to be worth it for what this ship's going to look like. So I think with a bit of paint and everything else, it's going to look pretty damn sick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off this under section of the vessel. And it's a bit of a challenge building in this. I've really noticed that, and I really do enjoy it. Some people have built like subframes and stuff that hold the ship in place, and then you kind of build onto them. And others have done it in elevated ways, like what I've done, where I've basically got the main body of the ship built up on the top end, and I'm giving it the ability to float, which is a good idea. But I must say, if your ship is a design that caters for like a subframe you can build, and then strap everything onto, I would seriously go for that, because you know it's just playing to the ship's best ability. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just going to make these windows dark so you can't see through them from the outside. There we go. So the cockpit's sealed off, which is good. My only other bugbear is this section, which I feel needs to sort of slope out, but I don't really want to do that, I don't think. But it might work out that I might be able to put some slope blocks in here. Tell you what, let's give it a try on the one side. You don't know until you try, and I haven't tried it yet, so we're gonna just give it a crack. Right, that's the engine room there. So what I'm gonna want to do is rotate this and drop this in. I don't know, this might work out really well. It certainly looks better than before. And then what we can do here is get rid of these windows. Ooh, chainsaw. So get rid of these windows and then build in some slopes instead. So if we put these in, maybe. Idea. Get rid of that one. And then we can put a double in. But it won't close off on the sides, will it? No. No! I will figure you out. Could always do this and offset the ramp. So it's kind of a, yeah. Let's try this. Do that, add that on, and then the windows, we can put in these. Actually want to rotate them and then flip them. And there we go. How's that look? I actually think that is a vast improvement on the general shape of the ship, because it blends it in a bit more, gets rid of that flat edge that you ended up with. So that's going to happen on this side as well, I think. It just looks loads better. Alright then, we need the ability tool. We're going to have to disassemble some blocks. And I'm great also, as another thing I need to mention, I'm really great that a lot of you guys are able to use these videos as like help videos for actually getting into Empyrion. I've had a few nice comments where people have been trying the game out and they've used me fucking up and farting around as a means of helping themselves out and figuring it out as well, which is kind of cool, and I like that. I like when these videos aren't just hey, here's me playing a game, it's hey, here's me playing a game, but you can pick up some little tips and tricks. And a couple of you guys have also been telling me lots of tips and tricks, which is something I really wanted on the channel when we started doing this. I really wanted you guys to aid me in the progression of my knowledge of this game. And yeah, it's great, it really is. And I really want that to continue in the future, because it helps me out and also it helps you guys out when I've picked up something new that you guys don't know, thanks to another subscriber telling us, and then all of a sudden you know how to do it as well, and so do I, and nobody's raging over me doing the wrong thing, which is a win-win, really. Yeah, it is a real big win-win actually, because the amount of people who hate the fact that some things I do are in the wrong way and stuff, but I get there. I like to think I get there anyway. Right then, well, this idea worked out remarkably well, because just the general shape of the ship just looks great. And little details like this, some people are like, well, why don't you just get a ship and fly it out? I want this ship to fly out in style. I don't want to be like, here's my first janked up bodged ship. I want something that can make it out and look like a badass in the process. That's my idea of awesome. So, and look at that. Instantly by doing that, we've smoothened over the ship, and it just gives it that better look, doesn't it? That's really nice. Right then, next port of call is to figure out where the ship is going to end in terms of just generally, because we're going to have a lot of space in this ship if we keep continuing on. But I think I want some like big substructures on the sides for reactors, but those can also act as like I want big pods sticking out the sides that jut backwards and are very prominent, so it looks like, well, it will have a lot of forward thrust, which would be nice. It does need a real paint job as well, but that's going to be something I'm going to have to do off camera again, because there's just going to be way too much painting. Also, I found something else that's bothering me. These ramps. I want to carry these on a bit further, so they don't just like they're just about linking on. I want to get this one, rotate it round, and then carry it on one more. There we go. And that just makes the block look like it flows a bit further, because with those two blocks just touching, it doesn't look like they have a physical connection. Whereas me doing that has actually made the front section of the mouth of the ship look very, very fancy and nice. And also we do need to put those windows in here, don't we? The things I was talking about. So if we get the window, there we go. And there we go. So now when we walk up the ship, up the ramps, and we come up here, we now are greeted by a window which is telling us we can't go up that way. We have to come down to go back up again, which is just something I preferred. And I really am liking the mouth section. I had to increase the height of the ceiling by just farting around with it, because it really looked a bit iffy, and I was a bit worried about, I'm actually still worried about the fact that there's no slope on this, so I might take these out, and we might try and get the DA support vessel in here and see if that actually fits, because if it doesn't, then we may have to rejig the space. I think it might just squeeze in if I have it on, if I fly it in low enough. But let's get up here, get to the cockpit, which is a nice direct run to the center of the in the center of the ship down. And then if we drop it down, unfortunately we have no downward thrust at the moment, so we kind of have to rely on the how do you call it? We just have to rely on turning the ship on and off, and that is the way the ship goes up and down. Well, we have upward thrust, it's just downward thrust is the issue. So let's drop down, and then we can should be able to run off. There we go. And then if we get the DA support vessel, jump on in, turn it on, should be able to back it up, and this should go in, so it should meet with the ramp and push up. Now it's gonna be a nice squeeze. It's pretty roomy actually. I mean, if I jump out of this and just wander around it, it's pretty freaking roomy in here. Sweet Jesus. Okay, well that's that problem solved. We know we can fit the support vessel in, which is good, because I want to take this thing with me. It's just like I want to take some of the memories with me from, you know, from the base when I ultimately leave. But yeah, let's get some food, because that's another thing. I've been actually just eating the food straight from the plants, which has kind of just been keeping me going, so I really can't be bothered at the moment to sort out food. Also, thinking of food, I do need to figure out where the farm would go, and we do have all these growing pots now. We will have to get some grow lights. I've only got one other grow light, so we will have to get some more of these grow lights to ensure that, you know, we have the right things. Now, will the grow? Oh no, the grow lights are here, so I can actually build these. Let's build 6. I also want to check my levels out as well, because we probably have a shoot ton of levels. Tech trees. We have 230 unlock points. Oh my sweet nibbling Jesus. And we also have the tier 3 fuel tanks. Wow, we're level 15. We are like 5 levels away from top. That's pretty nice. So we unlock. I'm just going to go down and just do a sweep. Large generators tier 2. That's good. Plasma turrets, we're going to need those. We're also going to need some drill turrets at level 18, which is another thing. Rocket turrets, those will come in handy. Large thruster blocks, and we will need the extra large at some other point, but we'll have to get them whenever. Base blocks, I don't think we really need too much. Be nice if we unlock some of these turrets. Repair bays are critical, and also an ATM. Get an ATM, we can put all our credits away then, and they're safe. So if we die and we have them on us or whatever, well, they won't be on us, they'll be somewhere else. Got pulse lasers, wow. More cockpits. We've almost unlocked everything for the small vessels. That's cool, and I think when we do leave, I may have a vessel that could be perfect to latch on to the New Dawn. I'm not going to really spout out too much about what it looks like, but it has taken me a while to get used to the building in this. I mean, I'm actually doing a lot better with this now. I'm building on camera, if that makes sense, because I think it's just because maybe the pressure of having to build sort of live, if you will, is kind of making me progress a bit further. I haven't really got much in terms of weaponry, but I don't really need it at the moment. The projectile pistol is actually pretty damn powerful, and I don't mind. So yeah, now we do actually have a blueprint of the ship that I wanna use, which is there. It's called the Nemesis Transport. But it doesn't have a back end yet, and there's still a few kinks I need to sort out with the power and whatever, because it's using up way too much power. So yeah, let's grab a little bit more food, and we'll grab those grow lights when they are done. Get some steak, eat these up. Grow lights should be done. We have 7 of them. Awesome. That should more than cover us. Because yeah, that should cover us. And where do we want to work on? I reckon if it kept the hangar going backwards but sectioned it off at a point, and then that back section is then the farm. So we keep the same belly shape sort of consistently across the ship. So I think it'll look weird if it joggles back upward and goes straight again. I think it'll just look too. It would look like it's pregnant. And I'm not saying being pregnant's a bad thing. I'm just saying for this ship it won't look nice. So I think if we continue on the back section here to a point, well, I'll be honest, that the hangar only needs to go so far, and then we can cut that off, wall it off with the door, and then we can have the farm at the other side. And that would be a nice use of space then, because the farm is going to be the thing that's going to take up the most space. And we should have 2 block height here. We'd have to figure it out. Let's figure it out now. We've got 247 freaking blocks, so we may as well. Also need to turn on our symmetry, and I reckon the hangar is what? How many blocks long? Discluding the so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 11's a good cut-off point, so it's 10 overall. Maybe make it an odd number to be on the safe side, or just go back 1 to 9. Yeah, we'll go 9. And we keep those blocks there because we will need to continue on the farm. The farm's going to be what? How many blocks long? Well, we're going to use thingy blocks for this, aren't we? Yeah. I wonder if I built feet. underneath the vessel for now and then turned it off, that would be better. But I need it on flatter land than a beach. Nah, we'll leave it. Screw it. It's staying here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is where the vessel's going to get a little bit iffy because it's actually 5 blocks, so we're going to have to come out on the back end, which we will have to anyway, but it means we're going to have to come out at the back end now to ensure that we can fit a 2-block farm along this. So if we jumped out, how many more? So we've got 5. So how many would we need? 3, 6. So we need at least 8, but because it's an odd number, it'll go 9 instead. 2, 3. Yeah. So if we went out, or if we just did, if we got these, rotated them round, did that, and then did that. So that is now what? If I just add those ends on, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This ship's going to be huge. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4, 8, yeah, 9. So that's exactly as I said what it would be. And if we continued this on, we can actually get our farming blocks in place and work all that shizzle out. 7. So these are the growing pots. So I think I've made a miscalculation here. Yeah, it's gonna be 4. We only need, yeah. Ship can be a little bit skinnier. Happy days. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we actually have 3 left over. Check that out for math. Unintentional, fluky maths at my best. Right, if we do that, then it should be fine. We don't need this extension, which for some reason keeps floating in the air. Ghost blocks. Okay, and then if we just end, is the ship actually leaning? Yeah. The ship's slightly tilting now because I don't think that one thruster's enough. Yeah, we need to go and find some flatter land for this. Yeah, the whole ship is tilting. We really need to get up in here, drop in a RCS, which it doesn't have because I took them out. Put the RCS in. Let's tilt it back. Let's bring it back. Ugh. And we need to push it over this way. Ugh. But without having enough thrust to get the ship off the ground. Yeah, we're pushing too much weight with that one thruster. Let's just add another one. And then maybe put some forwards and backwards on it so we can actually move this thing forwards and backwards out of the way of danger. Forwards. Backwards. Hopefully 2 thrusters should cope, he says. Hoping to God. Now we are actually lifting off. Oh my God. Yeah, we're gonna have to drop the ship by just turning it off as I did earlier. And then just tilt it forwards. Oh. Yeah, tilt it forwards. Sorry about the mirror plane. understand how annoying they can be to view. And I think we got it. I think it's a little bit off to the one side. It is still moving. It is almost like I need to find a place to ditch it with some legs for it to stand on. Which I can do, and then these legs we can kind of blow out afterwards. This is gonna push it up. No. Shit. Shit. Turn off the freaking symmetry. Where's it going? Where's it going? Come back. God. What the hell is it doing? I've got to try and catch it with a small ship. Please stop. Right, well this is a weird predicament we got ourselves into. The ship is quite high up in the air, and we do have our tiny ship on the roof, which I've got to slowly drop down. We really do need that top thrust, don't we, to stop us going up. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. No. Did it land? Oh yes. Oh yeah, yes, yes. We are like freaking pilots of the day for that maneuver. You guys saw that. It just freaking flipped itself. Yes. Well, we need to get these feet on because I'm going to burn through fuel keeping this thing in the air, which has only just occurred to me. And it's going to keep doing this weird fly-off thing with the thrusters on. So let's get down to the bottom deck. And that means we can take those thrusters out then as placeholders. And don't kill myself. Oh, there we go. And let's add some feet onto it. And these will hopefully give it enough support to stay on the ground flattish. And we'll give the ones on the back a bit of a wider berth. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these ones on the front? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll spread them out a bit. This might sit a bit crooked, but for what we need, it's kind of like we're building an ark. We're setting up struts like a boat. Alright, let's move the freaking thing out of the way. The flying squirrel, which is very, very terribly damaged and really does need that repair, but currently all our resources are going into the New Dawn, which almost became a new star. Ugh. And up into, I love the freaking hangar bay in here. Alright then, to the cockpit, where we should be able to relocate the ship to a better spot by using our newly acquired thrusters and dropping it onto the blocks. No, it's a bit nose heavy. Yeah, it is a bit nose heavy. Shit. And the New Dawn has become new flipped. Can we breakdance this? I don't know what I'm doing. Don't even ask what is happening or occurring right now. I'm trying to control it. It's a little bit jittery. I think it's more down to the RCS being very twitchy. That front end really needs to go uphill, like a D's. And then if it's uphill, that should counter... Oh no, okay, apparently weight distribution is actually a thing. What if I tilted the whole thing? No, it's still... I need a bigger hill. And it's doing it again. It's doing it again. Fuck! Fuck! Fuck you! Should we drop it in the sea? The sea seems like the best option right now. I need to find a place for my ship. Why are you bouncing? Oh, is it because of all these trees that it's really jiggling? Right now my ship is super unbalanced. What if I added some prongs? No. If I added some prongs to the front of those legs, it would stop the tilting effect. I'd have to go out pretty far because that's acting as like a pivot point. So I'd have to go out pretty far, and I'm burping because I'm nervous. Right, if we came out so far, I know it's not the prettiest solution, but this is all I've got right now. This should hopefully counteract the so we've got essentially a dead weight on the front when it's not turned on. So if we try and counteract that by extending the front out as far as physically possible, then what that would mean is we should be able to depower this thing. Because I bet it's used up quite some power. I haven't really checked. Well, I've put some power into these fuel tanks, and it's basically wiped most of them out. Wow. These ships are going to be so hard to power. So we're just going to tilt it, and then we're going to drop it. And the New Dawn is now unpowered, turned off, and safe to work on without having to freaking... There we go. So that's a lesson learnt my end. Big ships, get them up in the air, put some stilts on them, and then work on them from there. And then because I've done them just bigger than a block, it means that I can still jump up onto the ramp if I need to. Shouldn't have to with the drone, but yeah. And there we have it. What a farce. What an absolute farce that was, getting the ship going. But look at it. This is our progress. We've got the farm blocks in. We still need to put a roof on. I have got the blocks sitting in my inventory, which I could do it with. We are going to need to break into another batch of 400. Might have to go on a bit of a mission to get some new blocks, because I don't think we're going to have enough. Well, enough material anyway. But if we do this, make this a bit of a wall, and this will become our self-contained farming area, and then we can work on those like nacelles on the side at a later date. They're going to be the hardest things to build on this ship because of the fact that they're going to hang over so much, and I don't think there's going to be much access. Right. Also, I may have noticed a screw up on my end. It gets a little bit tapered here, which means that I can't just... that's why I've got to do one of these, and then I've got to do an additional one of these on the corners. So I've got to do that on both sides, and then that should allow these to link up. Alright, and look at that sunset. How beautiful. It's great being able to do stuff in the daytime, and I've actually been in this world long enough at the moment to have experienced 2 daytimes. So that's quite a long time, just sitting here building away, but I really want to get this ship somewhere finished, or somewhere close to being finished, before I even take it up in the air properly anyway. I know we've already had it a couple of 100 meters off the freaking floor, but that was completely by accident, and I really didn't want that to happen. But it's nice experiencing some of the bugs that you get with this, because every game's got bugs. It's just how bad the bugs are, and that, to me, it really isn't that much of a bad bug. If anything, the only bug that really is going to bother me is the fact that we can't be moving in the ship while we fly. As in, we can't be walking around the ship while it's flying. So we can't just set it for like cruise control and then be walking around, because you basically just vanish through the ship like space engineers. Which it just appears like most games like this are pushing a bit above their belt with features like that, and they'll probably get it implemented after a while, but it's something that takes time, and I understand. So yeah, we have the back section kitted out, sort of, and our Goliath New Dawn is getting ever closer to actually being a full ship, and I love its silhouette. It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Silhouette is absolutely overburdening. It's just massive. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this episode of Empyrion Galactic Survival, don't be afraid to hit me up with a like, comment for anything else you want to see or anything that I've missed, any tips, nifty little tricks, whatever else, any builds you've made on the community workshop, I will check out happily. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!